Hey guys, it's beginning to look like a WIP Parade. Yes, it's that time of year where I'm going to do my annual WIP Parade. I was planning on doing this earlier, but life and stuff and things happened. So, welcome if you're new, welcome if you're returning. I'm Isabel, and this is Hate Addicts with Crafts because I pretty much do all sorts of types of crafts and stuff, mainly cross stitch, and I have like 25-ish full coverage on the grow, so Hate Addict makes sense. I had started this, and this is take two, because I had done it earlier, I think last week, and had to stop because the husband came out of the room while he was working, and his boss freaking out because there was like a tornado warning and shit, and I'm just like, we're fine, it'll be fine, like, and we were, and it's just like, you can't just smash it together. I'm like, I could, but my phone's not gonna be able to handle the storage data stuff. Anyway, so I was planning on doing this earlier, and then it just didn't happen, so here we are. I have some finishes and stuff I will show along the way from this last year. I don't have anything prepped. They're still in Q-snaps or hoops or whatever. The first one, I literally have been working on this now, so I'm currently, as of today, caught up. So this is the temperature typography by Stitching Mommy. I added a border so I could start it for 2020, so I didn't have to waste it for my start. I edited the range so they're a bit colder. The pink colors are at like negative temperatures, and I didn't have it in the original one that is just 3 colors I decided to add. So here we're in December. It is Christmas Eve. So December 24th. So I finally got the border all did. So now I just have 2 more letters in December to do. Since we're approaching the end of December, it only makes sense that I'm almost done with December, and I managed to stay caught up with it. And it doesn't take me long to do like the couple letters here and there. But that looks, I kind of like the border because it like just squares it all out. And then I did put my initials and then the date of the year of this temperature chart, because I think I might do it like midnight or something, do the last letter or something, or the last date, or I might end up doing it and going into 2022 finish. But since this is temperatures for 2021, I put 2021 in there, and I did my initial and the date 2/1 because I didn't feel like just doing one strand, because honestly I was lazy, but that's okay. So WIP number 1. So I don't know if I'll keep doing like daily and just do that day to keep caught up on that one, or how I'm gonna approach that one. My bag of finishes, I don't have all my finishes in here from this year. I only have one that I finished last year. I have yet to frame. A lot of my pieces I've framed. Like Curious. This one I framed, and then I framed Miss Christmas Eve that I finished this year. I literally finished her and framed her like the next week. And then I think that's all the finishes I've done and framed that I haven't seen. This one was a WIP this year, and then I ended up finishing it. The back stitching is it was a pain, but it was fun. I got to say I worked on this when we went to Oregon, and then coming back from Oregon. So like the Oregon Trail, I worked on it going to and from. So back when we had our trip, our family vacation reunion. And then this one I started in 2020 and then finished it in 2021. And this is one of the ones I had gotten the frame for, but the frame didn't fit. It probably would have fit in the Miss Christmas Eve frame, but then I wouldn't have a frame for Miss Christmas Eve. And I was kind of wanting to frame Miss Christmas Eve because of the holiday. But this one is the uncalled for Under the Sea. Donna, I think I was on 28 count. This is the Dark Queen of the Sea Sow, and I did my own conversion for the hair, and I changed up some of the back stitching to match the hair color. And then I did my Kreinik 2/2, which I think it's called for to do 1/1, but I like shiny and I wanted it to be bold and in your face shiny, so I did 2/1. I think it's called for 1/2, so here she is. And I managed to stay caught up with the cell going throughout the whole year. And technically this is the project. This is the first time beading ever. Yeah, this is the first time beading, and it's on the sparkly threads. I did her skin 1/1. The Kreinik, or the Peach Treasure back stitch, is only one strand. Well, except for what they called for 2 strands or something, I don't know. But yeah, and then I'm trying to be good in putting my initials in things now. So I put my initials in this Kreinik backstitch color. So like kind of matches the magic Aurora thing we got going on in her tentacles and her powers. So that was the exciting finish I had this year. One of them, I guess. Because I do have another finish that I don't have here, and that's the White Dragon. I sent that back to Glenna, and then she sent it to her son-in-law, and then I think they're having it framed and whatnot. So I do have some more finishes, but they're going to be sprinkled throughout, I guess. This one is going to be one of my main focuses for next year. It's going to be my 22,000 stitches in 2022. And it's my oldest WIP. Oldest full coverage. I'm going to try not to yawn. And it is the Nativity by Donna Gelsinger. And this is one of my 3 projects I'm going to use for the Daily 30 yearly challenge for next year. So, we've been told we need 3 projects. We kind of know the theme because of the needle minders that were released for next year. Having to deal with animal adventure. Type thing. So this is where I'm at. I'm doing this on 18 count Aida, oatmeal Aida, because I thought it matched with the... I didn't want to do it on white. I wanted to do it on something a little bit different, and the oatmeal Ada kind of went with the feel of the Nativity. So, I originally had this on the large format pages, and then when I got it back on Pattern Keeper, I ended up getting the regular pages, and so that's why, like, I'm going back and finishing the second page of the regular format page. And then I got some of the wise men going, so hopefully I get quite a bit of progress on this one next year. This one does have quite a bit of stitching in it. I think there's like 180 stitches, 180,000 stitches in this one. But this one's fully kitted up, so I don't have to like worry about a boss box or whatever. So this one's like easy travel type of a thing. So I think I'm gonna leave my main focuses out possibly for next year. The ones I'm gonna focus on, or just leave them at the top of the. So this project bag from So Much to Love has like 4 projects in it. They're all my Halloweeny projects I got going on. So the first one is Wicked Witchcraft by Autumn Lane Stitchery. You'll see several projects, several of these charts because I love their charts. Erin's a genius. Changing up the colors to kind of match my fabric. So, didn't get my goal on this for this year, but I got some progress, and I'm kind of happy with my conversion so far. I don't remember what type of fabric, so sorry. The next one is The Lost Souls Cemetery by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I don't have the color version, but I'm also changing up the colors to a blue version on a gray fabric, which I don't remember the fabric. I should remember, but I don't. It's sharing a piece with another project in this bag, but I have gotten the 2 pages done because I think the beginning of the year I just had the start of this page, so I finished this one and this one. So the top pages aren't too bad, and then the bottom pages are like majority like dense full coverage stitching, but I'm liking it so far. So that is where I'm at on this one. I would like to try and get a Autumn Lane project done just because I have so many going right now, which is not a bad thing at all. Next one, another Autumn Lane Stitchery, is Horrible Tag. I don't have the color version, but that's roughly what it'll look like. Something fell. Oh, their card. I'm doing this one on 36 Monster Mash 1/1. I'm changing up the colors a little bit to match the original design. So it'll look a bit different anyway, so. There we're at. And I have worked on this year. The only ones that I haven't worked on this year would fall in the category of some of my full coverage projects, which I had this plan and this goal to do what I did last year, which if you saw my, were a subscriber last year, I did a full coverage like advent thing, and I was like doing that this year, but then I got like overwhelmed and all the things, and I kind of just stopped and just did whatever I felt like working on. The last piece in this project bag is Halloween Hocus Pocus by Ursula Michaels. And I'm changing some of the colors, like the eyes of the cat are green, but I feel like they needed to be red because of the spooky factor. So I'm changing the green with the red, so then there's gonna be the red in this hat, and so like I'm kind of just gonna play with changing the colors here and there. But I did get some work on this. This one's like a longer piece. This one shares one with the Lost Soul Cemetery. So like all of this up here is done, like the back stitching and everything. And then I came down to work on the hat, so. That is that one. So. Fun. All the things. I probably could get some of these into Pattern Keeper, but I don't mind working on a paper pattern for something small, like that. Here's the fun part, trying to figure out which project. I believe this is, I might not even have to pull what the chart looks like on this one. This one's a stocking. This is the Ice Princess stocking by Hannah Lynn Designs. This is a stocking I'm doing for myself. And I decided to do it on Mushroom Lugana because there's a lot of like whites and light blues and light whites, and I didn't want to be stitching white on white. So I'm doing it on a Mushroom Lugana type thing. And I was doing this 1/1, but realizing how big of a stocking this is, I decided to do it 10. So now I'm doing it on 25 or 28 count, 2/1 10. So I'm pretty sure I've worked on this since, but I don't know. So got the top part there going. I do have a plan to be able to work on all my projects. I say a plan, but we'll see if that happens. So I have, as I'm pulling in this next one, I have 2 WIP Go boards. The ones I'm going to focus on, and I'm going to try and get 200 or 2,200 for 2022. And then my other board with everything else that I want to work on, but like are kind of like a side focus to be able to like touch everything. And I don't have 48 WIPs, so whatever ones that didn't fill a spot are going to be slotted for a new start. And some of them I have an idea of what I'm starting, but the other ones I don't know, so I just put new start. So whenever it spins, I get to figure out what project it is. Where are you? This one is Self-Portrait by Dakota Detweiler. Listen. I'm not going to be able to see that. It's tiny. So, this is massive. I'm pretty sure I worked on this since the last time. Since this year. not a whole lot, but I worked on it yet some. So there we are. So yeah, my goal with the other ones is to do 1,100. So in the case of like working on the project that is called twice a month, it would equal the 2,200 or whatever. And I was trying to figure out a number that would work. And this one I know I worked on, because I was still doing the daily, not the daily, but the advent calendar thing. It is the Little Princesses, Tilt and Craft by Tilt and Craft by artwork by Danny Kordek. And so I have page 1 done. I don't have page 2 done, but no, I don't have page 2 done, but I'm close. But then I actually got to Tangle's hair. So I did a lot of work in here, and so I actually managed to get to her hair. So I got to a princess. Not much, but there's a princess. There's a princess there. So this one's on 28 count, 2/110, and this was my first time attempting that type of thing. This one is, you know what this one is? I don't know if I worked on this one. Where? It's the penguins. It's the penguin one. It's the You Make My Heart Melt, by Donna and Gelsinger. Reminds me of me and my husband, so I started it in 2020 in October for our anniversary month. And I was gonna crop it, but then I managed to find a fabric that would fit. But I am doing this 2/110 as well. So yeah, I picked the fabric and then realized a lot of the same colors in this top page are very close to the fabric, but that's okay. I may have worked on that one, I don't remember. Haha, this one. I don't have a picture of this one. This one I'm scrapping. And I'll tell you why I'm scrapping, because I deleted it off, so I don't even have it on Pattern Keeper anymore. This one is the one I was doing for my best friend, sister-in-law, best friend, who lost my brother. So I have worked on this year. This is where I got to, but then I realized that she probably hardly has one, and even if I framed it, she probably would or would not put it up in her house, and I didn't want to put all the energy and time into it. And granted, she's got 2 kids. One's my sister's age, is like 23 or whatever, because they fostered when she was a teenager, so she's a little bit older, even though my niece is a little bit older because they fostered her when she was a teenager. So technically I have a great niece because of all things, but then I also have a nephew, but then I don't know if he would have appreciated it, and I didn't want to put all the time into it. So instead of wasting more time and energy, and yes, I got all the flosses, this one's fully kitted, I just decided to scrap it. So I'm probably gonna, I don't know if I'll rip that section out, because it's pretty much 1/1, and I believe 25 count gray or something, but I got plenty of fabric. I can use this for other things and whatnot, But yeah, I've decided to scrap this because I don't want to put the time and energy in for somebody that's not going to hang it up or not going to appreciate it. So I'm scrapping that. And I'm going to use that fabric for maybe some Halloween ornaments and stuff. So it's a win-win. This one could potentially be a finish next year. I say potentially, but that's if I put the work into it. It's a quick stitch tag-alongs. And technically it's like 23 or something thousand stitches in it, and I'm doing it 10. So technically I'd only have like 11,000 stitches in this project to do. So if I really worked on it, it could, as I almost throw my tablet, it could be a finish. So possibly a finish. I don't know if I'll put time and focus, but quick stitch tag-alongs. I think I put some work in it this year. I don't remember. But yeah, this is how like big it is. It's not huge. It's quick stitch. It's like 175 by 126, so it's not huge. This one I thought about doing stream cross country, but obviously that doesn't happen. I think it only has like 1 or 2 full pages, and the rest are like partials or something. So, yeah, it could be a potential finish if I put work into it. So I have yet to decide that I might just work in it as and when I want to. This next one, I was trying to figure out a bigger way to like have this kitted up and all the things. This is Cancer by Josephine Wall, and I have worked on this because as soon as I got White Dragon done, this is the one of the 2 that was calling to me to work on. Josephine Wall, and I'm in this top quarter, so lots of greens and blues and garishly looking things. So this is, I believe, on 25 or 28 count Lugana. I'm still doing this one 1/1. So some of them I started 1/1, and then some of them I started 1/1 and then switched to 10. And I think I thought about on this one, but then I was like, no, I'll just do regular. This is the one I have kitted up, and I was like switching to like floss things, and because the bags weren't convenient, and then I'm just like not sure what I want to do. So we'll see. So that one could be a travel one because I have it technically kitted up. Another potential finish next year. And because I'm doing it 1/1, but if I ended up switching to 10, it could be done. It could potentially be done next year. Because I think it has got like 22 or 24 or 5,000 stitches left. Well, I just gotta find it on Pattern Keeper because it says Story Keep Halloween Hannah. I have worked on this one this year. I'm up here. Technically, in the guidelines of it being a full coverage, it is not. Because some of the fabrics are through, so it's there's an algorithm. It's got to be like 95% full coverage or something, and this missed. Like, I did the math, and math says like it misses the mark of being technically a full coverage, even though it's a full coverage by like 16 stitches. Like 16. or some weird amount like that. I believe I'm doing this on African Daisy. So I got a lot more in Done the Apple and like all the things. So this looks a lot better. So I mean, it could potentially be a finish, but yep, I know I worked on this one because I worked on it. This next one I did as well. I think it came out a couple of times, but it's like starting to take shape. This is a stocking I'm doing for my husband. This is the Stocking Treasure Dragon by Miles Pinky. So I'm up here. I do have part of the dragon's wing because I was doing a prompt and it was just solid color, so I think it was like 310 or something, and I was able to get like a lot of stitches in like quick. So here we go. This is on 18 count magic guide, I think, because like I had to do this one on 18 count, but my stocking on like 25 or 28 count to be roughly the same size because mine's massively huge. So if I did it on 18 count, it would be like ginormous. So doing his on 18 count, his could easily be a finish in the next couple years if I focused on it. Which I thought about focusing on it and using it. So I think it's got a total of like 40,000 stitches in it or something. Something like that. Something like that. I don't know. Oh yeah, I have a couple projects sort of in this bag. So I have a finish in this bag. I have yet to put it in the finish bag. I don't know why. This is the Silhouette Aristocats by Dots and Spots shop. I believe it's on a Blueberry Lugana or something. I think Crossings Collections. I love it. If I were to change it, I would have done, because it's a silhouette, I would have done Marie in white. I think Toulouse, this one's a black, so I probably would have left that one, and I would have changed his to like an orangey tan color. But by the time I got Marie done, that's what I figured out, and it was like kind of too late to do it. So, but I was thinking this could be a finish this year, but I didn't know until it ended up being a finish. So it was a finish, and I've been trying to get my initials into my finishes as starting this year. So I've been better, but I don't know if I'm 100% on the previous ones. This one's a freebie from Bendy Stitchy, from Magical Stitchers. That one year we did, I don't remember what year. This is the other side of the HateCon badge I did, but since it got canceled, it didn't go. So, and I have worked on this year, not as much as I would have liked, but I used it for like a prompt and daily 30 for black and white, and so I literally did all the black and all the white, and I had meant to pick it up again, but it didn't happen. So, but this is not like a priority, but this could be used as a Halloween ornament for a Halloween tree I'm thinking of possibly doing in the future, type of a thing. Oh yeah, I was like, what is this for? I pulled all the colors for this guy, so I have all of them. I think I just I'm gonna work on them. This next one is a Autumn Lane Stitchery. Again, Curious Mermaid. One that I would like to get done next year, like finish, but we'll see, because I started stitching her in the called for, then didn't like it, so I ripped it out, and so now I'm putting her back in with the color that I like. I wanted it to be 666, but I don't think I had any, so I think it's 321, which is still a very bright, vibrant color. So this is one I would like to have finished next year. Like, the top is not as bad, but like the bottom is done stitching, so we'll just have to see. This is the other half of the, I have the other half on which is a Wicked Witchcraft, like the other half. So like the one half is more pinks, the other half is like the pinky color blue with the greens and stuff, and so like this is the other half of that fabric. So, but here we are at on this one. I would like to try and get this one done next year, but we'll see. We'll see. Kind of want to get my oldest non-full coverage, which is Ship by Dots and Spots. Which I have determined that it is pattern paper compatible, so it will be easy to work on that Dots and Spot chip project, because he's on Pattern Keeper. I still have a massive, wonderful. I don't have, that's right. I still have one more prompt to do in the Daily 30 Zombie run for this month. Well, technically, I could still keep going, but I think I'm just gonna do the monthly what's needed and then call it quits, because this next one is the Epic Storybook Princess Sal. I'm doing it different. I'm using a variegated silk floss for the squiggly border, like the motifs along them I'm still using as called for. And then this first block I picked since I started on my birthday this year. I picked the Little Mermaid, and then I put all the other stories on a wheel, and so when I finish one, I will spin the next one. And so the second one that got spun was Frozen. I should know the fabric. The fabric on this one is Nova, 40 count from Bee Stitch Me, and I'm doing this 1/1. And I believe the silk I'm using for the border is Stardust. This like purple, blue, gray type of thing. So, oh, and I'm adding faces or mouths to the people because they just looked weird without faces. And so this was part of my zombie run piece since like July or August or something. And I had been working on the castle as of recent. So I might pull this out and work on this for the last prompt for zombie run. But we'll see. Like, I thought the castle was gonna be an easy quick stitch. No, it's like, the castle is massive. Like, it's deceivingly massive. I probably put like 800 to 900 stitches in the castle, and it's still not done. I probably have like this project 10% done, roughly, because I don't even have the last 2 character storybook prompts into this one yet. So, I don't know. But then part of me is like, oh, I'll just pull out the Christmas one I have. Since it's like Christmas Eve and I should be like working on a Christmas WIP and all the things, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do work on that one again. Not that I don't like it. I started it last year. But it didn't get worked on until this month. And I had used it for the zombie run is when it got worked on. This one's Mini Little Monsters by Shanaya Pike. You can no longer get it on Heaven Earth Designs. But I think Charting Creations are slowly getting her charts. But don't quote me on that one. This one, I believe I started in 2019 or something along those lines. So this is where we're at on this one. This one definitely got work. I had this on paper and then I moved it to Pattern Keeper, but when I moved it to Pattern Keeper, I didn't have everything marked right. And so all my part threads, they were correct, but like wrong in the sense of didn't have the correct markings off. So when I went to stitch it, it just it was weird. And then when I went to look at it and to do like the part threads up here, it wasn't lining up. And then realized I had marked it wrong and I had to frog quite a bit of like stitches that I had like done out here because I had part threads here, and I was like, So I did have a couple part threads up here correct, or I moved them to be correct, so I did that up here and like, which are down here. So I think another one I'm gonna focus on, I think I picked all the ones that were my older full coverage to be for the WIP go for the 2,200 stitches. So anything that was like 2019, 2018, and then so I picked 12 full coverage and 12 non-full coverage to like focus on, and like out of the 12, if I was still needing a few, I picked a couple that I wanted to put more focus on. This one I believe I worked on, but I had like epic grand plans of working on this, and I'm thought about I'm doing this extreme cross country as of right now, but at the moment I was like, I don't want to do that, and so I think I pulled the color, and like the next time I pulled it out, I was gonna work on not extreme, but I don't think I got to that point. So as of right now, I'm still doing extreme cross country in the black. So I think what I want to do is do all the black first, maybe, and then this is the mini flame blade by Ruth Thompson, another one I'm doing kind of in memory of Isaac, which probably means I should change this one to the Jack Sparrow one, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I believe that I put some work into this. So it's a mini, so it shouldn't take long. I just gotta put work into it. So minis. So I mean, this would be an easy one, as in like I'm just using black, so I'll just easy travel with a black. Anything that's called for a black That one literally has nothing. And that one's empty. This one technically is a staff. When I say a staff is because I started this on the 13th and finished it on like the 22nd. This is the Nativity row by Bend Creek. I was kind of wanting to have this goal of like, oh, I'll start it and then finish it before Christmas, and then I did such because this is like literally the only thing I worked on it. I think this has roughly a little under 3,000 stitches. It's got 2,900-ish stitches. I might be off in some of my counting, but I did it on Cosmos Opalescent 36 count 1/1. And then for the flosses, I used a black, a white, and then a gold petite treasure braid, which is PH04, which is what I used in the Dark Queen, because I had some left over. I didn't know if I was going to need this because I still had some left over, and I ended up didn't needing. But I basically pulled all my floss of the months. And even the one I got last month that I didn't show you, well, I did show you, but, you know, got interrupted. So I'm just going to go with the fences and just not show you what I got this month. But I used a lot of, like, the flosses that I got in past boxes or past floss of the month, which starting in January, I'm not going, sadly, not going to, be in it next year because of wanting to save money for future plans and whatnot, life plans. But so I figured I have them, I might as well use them, and it made it so much fun to stitch. And you asked why I did it on like a sparkly dark color, because I thought like night sky looking, like a night sky looking type of a thing with the stars being like opalescent and stuff. So I'm not 100% happy with the conversion. I'm kind of wishing I used a different color for some of their skin tone. But outside of that, I love it. And I'm not a huge fan in stitching alphabets. Like, I tried to avoid those like the plague. Like the plague. But I ended up stitching it because it was the Nativity, and I kind of wanted to have a Nativity that I stitched because the Donna Gelsinger full coverage is going to take a bit, and I kind of wanted to have something to possibly hang up this year, but since this year's like over and this is Christmas Eve, wanted to finish it this year and then maybe have it framed and hanging up next Christmas. So there we're at on that one. Or that's my finish. I know staff is like a start and a finish, and I think some people like view it as like, since they're like in a day, but I think to me it's like, since the last time I saw you, I have a start and a finish since the last time we spoke, kind of a thing. So yeah. Start and a finish. This is another thing. I got a bag from Stitch and Button. The Never Forget 9/11 2001. I have this one and this one because I actually worked on it. I kind of want to make this like my holiday patriotic stitching piece, but this has also been a zombie piece as of a couple months ago when I finished a project or something like that. This took place because I wanted to have my project, be able to put my project in my floss box, because I have a floss box for this project. Not all of them I do. Some of them, my early starts, I kitted them all up, but here's that one. This one was one I got in the large format, and then when I got it back on to PDF form, I got the regular format. So that's why I'm trying to get the page done for the regular format. So this was a zombie piece for this year. So out of my 4 zombie pieces, which are Lady Liberty, Epic Storybook Princesses, Old Mill Christmas, and Halloween at Hawkron. Halloween Hawkron probably not going to be worked on because it's a Halloween and it's like Christmas, so I'm feeling festive in that way. But then like I have Epic, and then I have this one, so I don't know what project I'll put my last 400 stitches in, but I will definitely get those worked on, and then next time I see you, I can show progress on whatever piece I worked on. Yeah, this one, I don't have a picture to show you or pattern keeper because it's just the pattern. I mean, I have a picture on my phone, but I'm not doing edits or whatever. So this is Chip by Dots and Spots, and my goal this year was to get a page finish. Granted, it's the smallest page, but it's a page finish nonetheless. And then this is my oldest non-full coverage, full coverage piece, because it's pretty much full coverage stitching, but it doesn't qualify as full coverage stitching. But I was able to get this page finished, which was my goal this year. So my goal next year would be to get this guy finished. And some of my sayings doing a thing like a calendar style where you work on like a project you want to get finished next year, and you make a goal every month and to get it finished. And I think the goal on this guy is like, I broke it down into stitches because I think your goal has to be at least 1,000 stitches or a 50 by 50 block or something like that. I don't remember. But I figured since it was my oldest non-full coverage piece, I would say full coverage piece because it's mainly full coverage, but I'm not stitching the background. 6 Fat Men is another project, and I'm not saying the fabric colors because I don't remember. Some of them I do, and I'm just like, we still got a massive pile to go through, so we're just going to, if you really want to know, message or leave a comment and I will try and respond back to you, which I've been horrible at. I do respond, but sometimes it takes me a while to respond. My apologies. I believe this one's on Spice, so I think I had the words "the snowman melt my heart" done this year. I put in like this block here, the Snowden, and I'm doing a conversion on this as well. I'm converting it as I go, I guess. I really like this dark spice color. I believe this was from Picture This Plus. I had some fabric from, I was doing a fabric club with somebody with Picture This Plus neutrals, and then found out that I'm not a really fan of like a neutral. I'm like, I love the dark neutrals and like the blues and stuff, but like the light tan, they're all the same. Like they're slightly different, but I'm just like, I don't, it's not my gravitated to when it comes to that type of stuff. So I'm slowly cutting this as I go. So, another project. Shares bag with Chip as a freight out. I'm gonna try not to make this like forever long, but we still got a stack of stuff. This is Santa's Workshop by Thomas Kincaid. Technically, this is a restart because I stitched the bottom corner, ripped it out, and then started again because of the whole 08, 09, and I didn't like how my stitches looked with the floss color over it. And so I started originally 1/1 on 25, and then I switched to 2/1 tent. So maybe I'll pull this one out today. I don't know. I have worked on this year because the goal was 2 pages. Granted, I got 2 partials, but it's a goal nonetheless. And this one also is fully kitted up, so it has its own bag. So we have an elf and some balls. I would turn these ones out, but they literally, I don't know if it helps or not, and it just, I don't know. So we don't have that. I feel like that sticker is gonna fall off. Forgot to put that back in the project. This has another thing, slotment of full coverages. This one's also another one that I've kitted up. I think anything from like 2019, I've pretty much kitted up beforehand. Kind of. This is Quick Stitch Phantom of the Opera by Amy Stewart. This is back when we started it with a bunch of other friends who were starting it. This is 25 count, 1/1. And I have worked on this year. So it's looking amazing. I would love to say, like, oh yeah, next year's goal is get a page finished on every single one of my full coverages. But I do want to work more on them because my full coverages kind of got neglected last year, or this year, because I was focusing on the White Dragon and getting that done. So that took a lot of my stitchy time. So this one has a couple long dogs in it. It has the one I'm doing on black, which is this one, Long Dog Virtue, and I know like it's for white, but I figured black would make it pop. And I have this crazy idea of when we have kids, if I have a girl, to do this one again, but do it on the white, and if I have a boy, do the Virtue one, or the Wisdom one. So if I have 2 boys or 2 girls, then I might be stitching it several times. But that's okay, because I think I kind of want to use it as like a burst sampler, possibly. I don't know. I haven't quite decided on that if I want to, if I end up having a girl, I end up having to stitch this twice. But I love the colors, so it may happen. And the same similar colors, but it's slightly different for the Virtue. I almost have a page finish on this. I have yet to get a page finish, but like, so there's a black used in here, and I'm switching that to white because it wouldn't work on the black, and the colors are popping. They are popping, and I'm loving this. It's so pretty. I love it. I love that I use the black because like it have bright colors and a dark fabric, and it just pops, and it's so fun, and it's like pretty easy to stitch up. So, But if I do this, if we end up having kids, it's a possibility that if I have a girl, I'll be stitching this twice or 2 times, depending on how many kids we have and how many girls or versus boys or whatever. But that's just like a thought I've thrown out there. I don't know if I will actually sit down and do that. The other one, this is Life After Death, and this one didn't scream to me or didn't call out to me until my brother died. So, just reminds me that there is life after death. So, and I'm doing this on a 40 count overalls by Collar and Cotton, 1/1. And I'm doing it in Anchor Black because I heard all these good things about Anchor Black. I'm not sure there's a difference, but I'm doing it on Anchor Black with Anchor Black. So I made a mistake and I'm fudging somewhere, but I don't think it'll affect it. I don't have to rip everything out again, so we're just making it work. So, Life After Death, which when I got this fabric, I thought it was going to be a lot brighter than it is, so I kind of am disappointed, but it's still very pretty. It's still a blue. It's still very pretty. Type of a thing. Like pulling out all these projects is like, ooh, I want to work on that, and I want to work on that, and I work on that, and I'm just like, yeah. Gluttony for punishment. Pulling up all the projects I want to work on. Like, oh, I don't have all the time to work on them, so. Try not to show you the pattern. This is Halloween at Hucker and Hollow. I'm doing this on Haunted 32 count Picture This Plus, and I'm doing a conversion. Some of the flosses I'm keeping, some of them I'm chasing because I'm doing it on a dark gray. I thought some of the colors would blend in, so I'm changing it and brightening some colors up because that's just me. That is me. And I have it in a mermaid bag because, well, you say I need a mermaid project in a mermaid bag, but there is a mermaid block. So there's a block with a mermaid in it. So technically, it's a mermaid piece. Or it has a mermaid in it. So here is where I'm at today. So I had a whole intentions of like possibly restarting because I didn't get the border on this black correct, so I ended up having to fudge it, and then I wasn't feeling it until I made the black fit, and then ever since then I've been loving it. So my goal this year was to get this block and this block done. Obviously that didn't happen, so it will continue to be worked on. So yep. A massive piece. I like my big projects, and I cannot lie. I would like to say I got half the block done, but almost half the block done. But that's okay. Life is life, right? A couple other full coverages. Like, I tell you, I have like almost the same amount of full coverage as I do non-full coverage, but they're still big projects. This next one is Bootstrap Bessie. I didn't get to the bird, Joni. I'm sorry. Maybe next year. Seriously? This is Bootstrap Bessie by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So, up here, I did get the page 1 done because I had this on paper. I think, maybe not. No, this one, no, I had, this is just still the large format, but I had park threads that I was no longer doing the parking method, so I went back and stitched all my park threads in, and was doing the diagonal cross-country method. So a lot of like bulk stitching, which is like awesome, but like page 2, the end of page 2, like over here, you get to the bird, which I was hoping to get to this year, but didn't happen. But I do have page 1 done on this one. So I was gonna do like a whole like thing where I'm like, oh, I want to do a page finish on all my full characters. Some of them not even close to a page finish, so that's not even like likely at all. And then this is Three Fates by also Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I'm doing the cross-country diagonal thing in my bobber, and if it like carried over, I did so. So I have worked on this one as well. So like now the diagonals are like decreasing, and I think at the edge here at the bottom of this page I get into one of the heads. I was doing this like, I was like, oh, it reminds me of me and my 3 friends, but then the friends became 2, and then I'm like, oh, back to me and my other 2 sisters. Because there was drama that happened this last year, and we don't really talk to the 3rd friend. I mean, yeah. I made her some fingerless gloves from hand-dyed fabric, or hand-dyed yarn, because I thought she would appreciate it. She left it at a mutual friend's house or whatnot, and instead of going back to get it, she's like, I don't care, I don't want it, just throw it away. But knowing that friend kept it for me, and then when I came over one time, they gave it back to me, which I appreciate. To know that, like, they know I put some time into it, and they weren't just willing to throw it away. They were just going to give it back to me, just because one person decided they didn't want to come back for it and respect what I've made for them, type of a thing. So this is another long dog. I'm doing it as a wedding sampler thingy. Oh yeah, I did get a page finish. So I got a page finish on this one. This is crosswords. I'm doing it in like our wedding-ish colors. So we had like blue and silver were our wedding colors. So I'm using a swoop gray toile, which is like a silver blue, and then a white for the accents, like little accents, and then like the back stitching. And this is the other half of the Six Fat Men Spice, even though I'm pretty sure I started this first, but I officially have page 1 done, and I think I went into page 2 or whatnot. So yeah, I'm doing this 1/1 on 20 count. Because if I did it over 2, it wouldn't have fit on the piece of fabric. So I did over 1 so it would fit on the fabric. So loving that. And I put Squirtle on there because I like Squirtle. And my husband actually gifted me 1 year, I think it was for my birthday or something, gifted me like a stuffed squirrel. So I just thought it was fitting to have Squirtle on my project. This one is my Christmas bag. This is the other one in my zombie run that I thought I could work on because it's Almost Christmas, because Silent Night, Holy Night. This one's on 40 count. I think it's Dapple or Dapple. I have no idea. So the colors for the other project in this bag. The Secret Santa series or whatever. I started it in the middle. I figured it would look, instead of on brown, it would look good on blue because I'm blue sky. So I originally had 200 to start with, and then I've done two 400 prompts in here for the zombie run. So it's probably got 1,000-ish stitches in it now, and it actually looks like a windmill, and it's like actually pretty fun to stitch on. I don't know if it's because of the 40 count, because it's dainty, or just because it's, I don't know, fun. So I feel like the 36 count one stitched up really quickly. The Epic Storybook Princess is stitching up quickly, and that's on a 40 count. So I don't know. Maybe my jam is the smaller count. I don't know. Maybe it's because I do the tiny stitches on the full coverages. These are the ones I have. Merry and Bright, the series I'm doing. So I have these two that I'll start one of these, and then I want to get the rest of the series. But this is one I actually finished this year. Because of new starts, I couldn't start the second one. I'm not going to get into that. But I was worried I wasn't going to get all the same fabric and all the things. So I did get the same Ada. I know you can't tell, but it's the same Alaskan blue Ada. The same color. It's just a bit different because this one's been worked on. And so I finished Santa's, what's the one called? It's like Naughty or Nice. And then I put my initials and the date I finished, or the year I finished it, on the naughty list because I thought that was kind of cool. Kind of sweet to throw it in there kind of as a hidden thing. But I'm thinking I probably could have got away with putting it on like half of here and been fine. But they say 3-inch border, and I'm just like, I don't think I need a 3-inch border to finish him, but that's okay. I'd rather have more fabric than not enough. So I have enough fabric to do all the Santas. I just need to get the rest of the Santas to do the things and the things, so I'm slowly doing them. And then there's the Secret Santa, which is the little chart that they give you on the bottom of each chart. So I'm gonna slowly get the charts instead of like buying them all at one time to save like on cost and whatnot. To save on costs and whatnot. This one is definitely going to be one of my focus pieces for next year's Daily 30 because I want to try. I say I want to try. I would like to get this project done March, April. So I want to get it done March, like the day he passed away. Or if I don't do that, to do it on April 2nd, finish it on April 2nd since it's his birthday. My brother's birthday. 20, until we meet again. And I'm not gonna read it because every time I read it, I start crying and I start getting teary-eyed. Like I can't do it. I'm doing this one on 28 count denim blue Joblin because he liked blue, and so I had to change out the floss color for the background for the, I say the background, but for the words, they had like a gray and it was like blending into my fabric. So I changed it to a brown. And as along with the word one as well, they had a brown, no, they had something that would have blended in, which I might do this pattern again for, but I may not, we'll see. But I have, this is where I'm at. So, you think it would be an easy quick stitch, but a lot of these like calla lilies are like 500 to 600 stitches, and then depending on the leaf, it's also 400 to 600 stitches in a said leaf, depending on how big they are. So like, oh yeah, like it's nice and easy like block stitching, but like they're not small at all. I think this is on like a fat half. So, but when I finish it, I want to do it in like an oval round type frame. I'm going to try to do it in an oval frame. If not like a square mat and then an oval matting. But that means I have to have it professionally framed to do that. But if I can find a frame that is oval, or yeah, oval-ish, then that will be my goal. And my goal was to like do all the prompts and then just work on this till the end of the year, because I want to finish it next year, so I gotta get work and stuff into it. So now I have still a shit ton of full coverages to show you, and then I have my most recent full coverage that I started yesterday with Layla, the novice stitcher. This one is Mini Ruby. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't want to go into movie, and I have worked on this by Rachel Anderson. I have Ruby because I'm a July baby. I think this is on 22 count, 2/1 tent. So I was doing across the page, and now I'm doing, like, you can see the diagonal going. This one, this probably wouldn't take as much time if I didn't have to show you the cover photo, but I want to make sure, like, you know what it is going to look like, because a lot of them don't have a lot of stitches in to know what it's going to look like. So this is a mini Cliffhanger by Amy Stewart. Top corner here. You know, there's a glare. I have worked on this since a couple times, actually. I was gridding, and now I'm just like not, because it takes too much. I don't want to say it takes too much time, but because I'm doing the diagonal, I'm not needing to, I don't know, I'm not needing to do that as much, I guess. And then this one, I don't think I've worked on this since starting it last year. This is Taste Better by Randall Spangler. He has one that I want to do that's like one standing in front of like a cauldron, but it's like hot chocolate. Like, I want to do that one. This tastes better, and that's totally me when I'm baking cookies, which I totally want to do and eat cookie dough because it's Christmas Eve. But here is that. So I haven't made progress. But I had planned to, but like next year, like I said, I'm hoping to get some progress in some of these whips. And I believe this one, yeah, this one you might not be able to even see. This is Mini Corn Moon by Allison Spokes. I wanted to do this because it oh my goodness gracious. I wanted to do this one because it reminds me of the fall here in Nebraska with the corn. The corn, like, just the corn, and just like, oh, that's like our fall is cornfields and cornfields and cornfields. So in the top right corner, I have not touched this year. Hang on. I thought, yeah. That's gotta be the top corner there. So literally, barely can tell. But yeah, this next one, I know exactly what this one is. This one's got the needle minder to kind of go with the theme of the project. So this is the Wonder Woman Warrior Princess by Tilton's Craft by artwork by Daniel Kodak. And I'm doing this for my mom. Oh. If technology would cooperate. So I don't think I've stitched on this since I started it last year. Last year, on my mom's birthday. Like, it was, I didn't know I was going to start it till I was going to start it, like, 2 days prior or whatever. This one I have worked on because this was pulled for the Advent when I was doing it earlier this month. And it makes me want to pull this up more because this is just a fun project. This is Planet Dragons by Rob Carlos. They're basically planets that are dragons. So I was doing the across, and then because of the diagonals this year, I went back to do the diagonal. So I'm honestly loving like the reds and like the pinks and stuff in this first page. I was originally going to do it cross country throughout the page, and then things and stuff happened and that wasn't the case anymore. So dear, we're getting close. We're getting close. We have like three projects left. This one is a mermaid. This one is Felicia. I have worked on this one. I was like, I didn't work on this one. Yes, I worked on this one. As Felicia by Hannah Disney. Same person as Hannah Lynn. Just depends on when the chart was copyrighted, I guess. Super washing out, but you get the idea. This is a chart that I purchased the same time I did Lyra. But I started / finished her first, so I'm sure they would have been the same size if I did them on 14 count, but I did not. This one's 2/1/10 on 28 or 25 count Lugana. This next one I had debated on scrapping too, but every time I see Stitching at the Cabin pull theirs out and work on it, or just show it in general, it makes me want to work on it. So I've not yet scrapped this one. And I think I'm off somewhere, and I think I had to fudge, and I'm thinking it's such a large project. I don't know if I'm like in love with it, but I do love fairy tales and stuff. But so this is super sized Once Upon a Time max color by Amy Stewart, and I have this semi kitted up. I was starting to pull the flosses and whatnot, so I was different and started in this corner because I wanted to look at something different than everybody else. And like it's on like a yard, literally a yard of fabric. So worked on it, and this one had the 0809 fiasco, but I don't think I had gotten to that part yet. And this one's 1/1 I'm doing. So that is all those projects. And then my most recent start with Layla, the Novice Stitcher, here on YouTube. You should totally check her out. If I remember, I will look her down as well as Stitching at the Cabin, because I just watched the WIP Parade and it was epic. I just started this yesterday, so the 23rd. So this was supposed to be our New Year's new start, but she was wanting to start it early and I wasn't complaining. So this is Kitty Heaven by Amy Stewart, and I was going to start this in 2020, but Layla was wanting to start it and she was going to wait till the new year, and so we decided to start it early. We actually got on a Zoom call and started it in person together. So I'm up here in this corner where I started, but she started down here in this corner, and she's doing the blitz stitch method, I believe. So I believe I got 200, my start, I got roughly 245 stitches. I'm doing this on 25 count 2/110 stitch. So technically I have 490 stitches in it, but since they're 10, it's really 245 stitches. So this is one of the needle minder from Vic and Stitchy that I was going to show you in my haul, but then life happened. So that is currently my new start point. This is like the shelf part, and then like there's like cones of like floss or string, and like you can already like see that that's something, like you can see and tell that's like something. So very fun. I managed to get the diagonal done last night, and then I had like, because it was the first diagonal, I didn't want to like be starting and stopping, so the first diagonal I parked, and then I finished all the parked threads in that diagonal aside from like the last one. But that is where we got to. So I may pull this one out and work on it today or tomorrow. I know I still have 400 stitches I need to get in for the zombie run, but then after that, it's just, and then keeping up on the temperature chart, and then after that, it's just whatever I feel like working on. I may come back and do what I plan on doing in 2022, But outside of that, yeah, that wraps up our WIP parade. The hour and a half of all the things and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm planning on still working on the temperature chart. I might work on Kitty Heaven because it's a new start. One of my 4 zombie pieces, so Lady Liberty, Halloween Hakron, Epic, Storybook Princesses, or Old Milk Christmas will get worked on again before the end of the year. And then I would like to put some progress in until we meet again, because I want to get it done so early next year. And if I don't get it done next year, then... I mean, if I don't get it done by those, like, March, April, I'm not going to sweat over it. But it would be kind of cool to finish it on one of those 2 dates. But I'm probably overthinking it. But I don't want to, like, solely stitch on it and, like, regret it. But, so, yeah. That is my WIP parade. For those of you who stuck around, thank you. Thank you for your support watching it. I know I was going to have a update sooner, but life happened and I was going to wait until do this till after I got through all of my WIPs, through the Advent full coverage thing I was doing, but that didn't end up happening, and then it kept getting delayed, and here we are. So we have, what, like a week and a little bit left of the year. So I'm hoping you guys had a good year. Mine was a bit better than it was last year. Last year was not fun. But I am glad that you decided to hang around and watch my WIP parade and see all of the charts and all of the enablings, and hopefully if you liked what you see, maybe subscribe. I would like to put regular videos out, but I don't like filming when my husband's here because I never know when he's going to come out and interrupt or stop in the middle of WIP parade because there's a tornado happening or tornado warning. But maybe I'll have a video next week of just a regular update, but I'm not gonna make any promises because I don't know, life's just a little crazy, unpredictable. I guess I could put one out on the 31st because I'm off, but my husband's not, so it would be a good time to do a video. So if I remember, I will, but no promises. I would like to be like, oh, more like constant and regular, but if you've watched me for any sort of time, that is not me, and I've tried, but it's never been a thing. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, if I don't speak to you before the New Year, and until next time, happy crafting.